Let's go to the next item. Offer 2 sleeping room options when you can, and then the room rates. Consumers, who's that again? That's us, you and me. If you were to call up a car dealer and say, do you have any cars? And they said, yeah, we have one, you wouldn't be that impressed. So don't just quote one room type, one room rate. If you can, when you can, offer 2. Now, somebody in the audience is thinking, well, why don't I offer 3 or 4 if we like options? Because it gets too confusing. It's easy for you and I because it's our business. But focus on 2 that you feel will work best for them, offer the rates, and then immediately go to the next step. Ask to make a reservation. Stop. So there are 5 skills right there. So let me go through them real quick. Ring, ring, ring. Thank you for calling my award-winning hotel. This is Don. How may I help you? Hey, listen, I want to stay during the course of the week. I'm a corporate traveler. Do you have a corporate rate? All right, let me check on that. And the date you had in mind? Okay, that's Tuesday and Wednesday, the 5th and 6th of January. All right. While I'm checking on the availability here, can I ask what brings you to the area? Well, I'm calling IBM. Okay, terrific. Well, you might want to know IBM's not that far from us. In fact, is it the IBM so-and-so center? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's like a quarter of a mile from our front door, so you're really close. Let me give you some other reasons that you might like our hotel. Benefit, benefit, benefit. Big reasons for being there. And I've got 2 different options for you may want to consider. I've got a so-and-so suite, and it includes the following items, and the rate on that is $125. Or I've got a terrific king-bedded option, includes the following amenities, and the rate on that is $119. May I please go ahead and confirm that for you? Stop. Okay? So again, when you get really, really good at this stuff, it becomes more of a conversation and less of a script. The word script should be beaten out of your head, should be beaten out of our language. People don't like robots. They don't like scripts. Neither do you. Neither do I. So let's try to turn this thing into a formula as quick as we can, and you'll only do that through practice and trial and error. As you get comfortable with this, it becomes more of a conversation. All right, in a perfect world, the consumer says, yeah, hey, listen, that sounds terrific. Go ahead and get me that expensive suite. Well, you and I both know this is not a perfect world, so we have to be ready for the person who says anything but yes, and it might sound like this. Yeah, hey, that sounds terrific. Let me do this. Let me talk to my boss and get this approved, and I'll call you back. Now, people are fibbing to us right about now, in some cases, in many cases. And we have to be ready for that. We have to assume for a second that there's something preventing that person from saying yes, and I have to find out what that is. In a very non-threatening way, we have to ask a resistance question. We have to know why they're not saying yes to the reservation. If you stop at the first 5 skills, you will certainly be doing better than your competition. But take it to the 6th and 7th skill, and you'll really clean up. So let's focus on that resistance question, skill 6. You know, I'm sorry. Is there something I failed to mention, maybe something else you were looking for? I'll use those words again. Ready? You know, I'm sorry. Stop. Is there something I failed to mention, something I didn't tell you about the hotel or maybe the area, something else you might be interested in, something you were looking for that I didn't tell you about? Non-threatening, very simple question. I care. Is there something I didn't do right? Don't blame them for not making a reservation. Blame you. And when you use the words, I'm sorry, and again, these are my words. They work for me. They may not work for you. But I find people don't like to apologize. Well, it's not my fault, Farrell. They should be paying the rate. Well, listen, assume the responsibility. Assume that it is your fault. And you're going to have more people telling you the truth as to what's standing between you and them making a reservation, between buying your product and your service. Take the blame. Find out what it is. Let me take a time out right here. Before our hotel clients, before our banking clients, before our equipment rental clients used these skills, they were converting in the vicinity of about 20% of the people who walked up or made the phone call. It was an average of about 20%. The walk-up factor was higher than the phone. But the point is, the 20%, 2 out of 10 are saying yes. 3 out of 10 are saying yes. The best I ever saw was 4 out of 10 not using these skills in a very, very respectable and reliable brand out there. If you knew you stayed in one of their hotels, you knew it was going to be great quality. That kind of brand can demand a 40% conversion rate without using these skills. The rest of us are somewhere around 20%. Using these skills for most corporate-based clients, for most corporate-based hotels, they will convert between 70 and 80% is my experience. So 80% is the goal. You might be saying, well, wait a minute now, why isn't 100% the goal? Because if you convert every single person that calls you up, that walks up to your counter, then there's something really wrong with your room rates. They're too low. Your price is too low if 100% of the people are saying yes. Your product is not perfect for every single person. That's why we shoot for a 70 or 80% conversion rate. So, without asking that resistance question, your conversion rate will not hit 70 or 80% in most cases. So you've got to find the way to do it. And I'll use the words again. I'm sorry, is there something I failed to mention? Something else you were looking for that I didn't tell you about? And you might hear this on the other end of the phone. It's not a big deal, but folks, don't take their words literally, because it is a big deal. When people come down in the morning and they give you your room key at a hotel and they say, oh, it's not a big deal, but the air conditioner's noisy. It is a big deal. If they said something about it, it is a big deal. It is a big deal if they say at this point in the phone call or walking up to your counter that it's not a big deal, but it's a huge deal. It's what's between you and them saying yes. So pay attention. So if they say something like, you didn't say anything about a dining room. You guys don't have a dining room? We don't. However, there are 14 restaurants within a quarter mile of our hotel. Everything from so-and-so to so-and-so. So you've got all kinds of fare in there and all different price structures. So our clients like the fact that we're this close to eating establishments and still not have to pay a higher room rate because we have that restaurant in our hotel. So we kind of have the best of both worlds. Restaurants real close by and a very affordable room rate. So you have to be able to turn this possible objection into a positive. And don't lie to them. That is the truth. But it's not right for everybody. Some people, those 2 out of 10, want a restaurant on site, and they probably won't book you as a result of it. But you try like heck to convince them that there's 14 great restaurants locally, from fast food to fine dining, and everything in between, and it's a quarter mile away, all within a half a mile, whatever the rationale is. You try it, and you're going to find that people appreciate the fact that you're trying hard to earn my business. I mean, we're starving for good business, you and I as consumers. Good business practices, people that care, people that focus this much. So when I get into, we have 14 restaurants in the area. We didn't mention anything about a pool. We don't have a pool. However, we've made arrangements with the local YMCA so that you can take advantage of not only their pool, but also their health club and everything else. And in fact, their swimming pool is Olympic-sized. No hotel in this area has a pool like the YMCA. So we've made arrangements with them. It's an eighth of a mile up the street, or it's a mile up the street, whatever the answer is. So you're ready for these objections. And the only way you're ready is to train it, is to talk about it ahead of time. So these are the 7 skills that it takes. This is the magic formula that it takes to get people to say yes 70, 80% of the time. And whether you're a call center, contact center, whether you're standing in a hotel, whether you're staying at a counter at AutoZone, these skills work. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.